Hello there, my name's Phil. I'm an Englishman but living in Ireland. I've been there for the last 20 odd years. I'm sure if you're watching this, you're either suffering from terrible pains and your sleep is totally deprived. I want to just recall a brief moment in the past where I've woken up lying in bed early in the morning, arms by my side. I have a depression here, which you can probably see in my chest, and I've woken up with sweat here. The bed has been ringing with sweat, and I haven't been able to move a finger even. It wouldn't matter what emergency procedures were there, I couldn't move. I do know what pain is. Anyhow, let's come back to Neomed. I found Neomed by mistake, really. I happened to be in conversation with another lady who I knew had Lyme's. She was confirmed with Lyme's. I went through her blood test and all the other procedures afterwards, and then she mentioned to me one day Neomed. I have to say that with just a few hours research on my computer, I was convinced that this was the place where I should be coming to. I have had my fill of antibiotics, of pills. Every time I used to go to the doctor, I was given a great big carrier bag. I wasn't even told what was in there, and I was sent home. Needless to say, as you probably know, nothing did me any good at all. It was only Sulfadine. I ended up with morphine patches when I sat there nodding all day long, and I was just out of it. This all had to finish. I was so excited coming to Neomed because this was the sort of treatment that I had been studying and reading about since January, when I first thought that I had Lyme's. Now, I haven't been actually confirmed with Lyme's. My reason is I'm actually a businessman, and I went to the doctor one day and I said to him, "Doctor," I said, "would it be worth me going to get a Lyme's test?" And he said, "Yeah, I think it would." So I said to him, "Now tell me, if it comes back positive," I said, "how are you going to treat me?" "Well," he said, "we could give you antibiotics for 12 months. And I said, "And?" And he looked at me more or less and said, "And?" So anyhow, here I am. I'm 2.5 weeks into my treatment here at Neomed. I have to say that when I first came, my head was bent over to this side. My whole body was bent over. I was clinging onto the stair rails, coming up and down stairs to the treatment room. Within just 4 days, I noticed I was actually going up and down the staircase with phone in one hand and a glass of water in the other. That evening, I actually dropped something where I'm staying on the floor, and I bent down from the hip and picked it up. Now for me, I haven't done this for absolutely months. I was so happy. Anyhow, the clinic here, what are we going to expect? I really hadn't got any idea whatsoever. I'd done it all so quickly. From first contacting the clinic to being here was only 3 weeks. I needed something to cling on to. So the treatment here essentially is concentrated on 1 or 2 factors. The first being ozone treatment. Now, ozone treatment has been around for a long, long time and has been proven. So the different treatments are quite, well, there's several of them, let's put it that way. So ozone, we have this, what they call the TEMPAS, where they're taking your blood out and exposing it to ozone. There's also an IV treatment, which they've been putting into my right arm here, which apparently is the Russian method of introducing it. I feel rather hot and sweaty while I'm talking to you because I've just come out of an ozone sauna. So they're all different methods. The other thing here that is very prevalent is the electromagnetic treatments. Now these are beds that you sit on, lie on, and they vary. There are many different treatments here. Although it might be seen as to outsiders that it's relatively easy just to lay on a bed, I assure you it's quite tiring at the end of the day. The papemi, which I think most people seem to speak about, I have found wonderful for me. These muscles down here were so painful, I can't explain. All my chest was terribly tight. I was struggling to breathe at times. In fact, a few times, you know, I've had sort of heart problems, palpitations, and breathing problems. My eyesight has all gone, you know, out of focus, and I've just been about to pass out. Now, I have to say that since I've been here, as I say, I've had a magical, I won't say recovery, but it's a great start. Now, the other thing I have to tell you, now this does interest me, is there is a dietitian here and a lady who does wellness. Now, I've always thought that I eat well. I buy raw food, I cook it, I don't eat a lot of meat, I'm into fish. But I've suddenly realised that actually what I'm eating is probably destroying me. My favourite is a great big bread roll filled with butter, cheese, tomato. You'd think, what could be better? In fact, we're not doing ourselves any favour to our gut. Our gut is actually 80% of our immune system, which I never realised before. Obviously we're trained in this while we're here, and trained onto diet as well. It is so important that what we actually eat and live, not only here but when we go home, will actually help to improve our health no end. Just thinking back, several people said to me before I came, "Are you going to come back healed, are you?" This isn't realistic. I said to them, if I can come back something like 10% and on the way to recovery, I shall be very happy. I have to tell you here and now, I would say that these muscles, the pain here now, 80% has gone already. My chest is improving rapidly. I actually had a bit of an accident 6 months ago. I should have been wearing safety glasses, and a piece of metal hit me in the eye, and I was told just recently that I was lucky it didn't actually perforate the eye. It's been so sore, but these last few days, even that has been feeling so much better. When I've been swimming here, I've noticed that the water will stand up on my skin, particularly on my knees here, so my skin has improved too. But not only that, this is such a wonderful place. I'm just looking out of the window now, I can see the sea from where I am. It's such a wonderful place to recover. It's so quiet. All the staff, I just cannot explain. They are wonderful. They really are. They're so caring, and they'll go out of their way to do everything that they can to ensure that you make improvement while you're here. And not only that, the other patients, so many times I can hear them now sitting out in the kitchen in our spare few minutes, and we're constantly being told, keep quiet, keep quiet. You'll find if you come here, which I really recommend, that you're in a wonderful community, like a big family. And I can only say this is one of the best things I have done for many a year, and I will not forget my treatment here. And if necessary, I should come back, much as I don't really want to come back. You know, it'd be nice to see the family again. Anyhow, I can recommend Neomed to anybody, as I say, who's in real pain and is suffering fatigue and all the other problems which come with immune systems. Thank you.